Hi there folks, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. So today we're going to have another look at one of these intriguing classic Matchbox kits and get a bit of nostalgia from the experience of perhaps what some of us built during our childhoods. And today it's another one of my great favourites. So there's probably about half of them that are my favourites, but this is another one. And I think this is some of the ones that strike me and really stuck with me so much, the ones that have got the better dioramas, and this is one of them. So it is the American M16 Half track, which comes with this diorama where it's actually on a railway line which appears to have been bombed. And you will be surprised to learn that yes, I have in fact built one earlier, and here it is. And it's Calamity Jane crossing the crossing the railway line, and it's of course the anti-aircraft version of the half track with the Browning 50 cal guns on it. And these were really a vital piece of equipment for the Allies during the Normandy campaign, and then going into Belgium and beyond into France, Belgium, Holland and Germany, because they really were very effective at keeping low-level German aircraft away. Very effective anti-aircraft unit indeed. Fast, manoeuvrable and plenty of firepower, just what you needed. So here I've actually made a bit more effort than usual. I've actually done a fair decent bit of painting. I've not gone crazy, but yeah, I've got the railway line. You see I've got the railway line with the rails, and the rail's been blown up there a little bit, so there won't be any trains on this line anymore for a while. But we've got the little guns, anti-aircraft gun. It's really very animated. I can't remember if it goes up and down. I don't think it does for some reason. I think I may have glued it in place or something, but it's a nice looking model, you know, and it's sort of does what it says on the tin. It's commandeered the railway line for its own purposes, and there we go. So yeah, I have to say, definitely a favourite of mine. So without further ado, let's get back to the model itself. Now this is actually, this particular box is one of the later issue ones. It's a 1983, and you can tell obviously because it's got no window, which they normally have here. Just going to change the lighting a little bit. Now typically again they've gone and shown it unpainted on the back, exactly what it would look like without painting, but just with the decals on it. On the side however, they show what it would look like if you paint it up properly, which I kind of did this time. I actually made a bit of an effort, but didn't go crazy with weathering, just a basic build, you know. And then on the other side, of course, typically we've got some adverts for their other products in the range, the Jag Panther, the Chaffee, Vespi and the Puma. Some of these we will have seen or either in the future or recently, because I'm trying to review quite a few if I can, and let people enjoy them again. So let's open the box and see what we have in here. And by the way, I should have pointed out, in the artwork there's actually looks like it's a Focke-Wulf 190 who's trying to strafe these guys, and obviously they're letting him have it with the anti-aircraft guns there. And another one of these brilliant Roy Oxley artworks, which I always compliment because they're so damn good. I mean, most of his work, frankly, in a frame would not be out of place to hang on your wall because he's such a good artist. Sadly, I don't think he's with us any longer, but it's a great loss because one of the best of all time for sure. Now then, what have we got then? 2 sprues and some tracks. You can tell it's a late issue, 83 onwards, because it's got a black and white instruction manual, which is the way that they always seem to go. And then on the reverse you've got your typical call out for the positioning of the decals, which they like to do this way. Oh, speaking of decals, they just popped out, okay. So, as we get into this, you can see that there's 2 options. So we've got the US 5th Armoured Division or the 2nd US Armoured Division. Much of a muchness, I guess. Let's have a look at the decals. They are quite old, obviously, but peeling off okay. Yeah, they're coming off alright. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, look good. Fine, to be honest. Won't take it. Oh, actually, come off. Okay, pop that back on there. So, back to the instructions. When you flick them open, of course, you get this typical setup where it shows you the decal marking options and the colours, and it gives you like a quick paint guide here, some of the small parts, little guy that's operating the cannon, the guns themselves, and then the tow rope, petrol cans. Not sure what that is actually. Oh, it's the yes, the support bar between the guns, and then your tyres. And it mentions all the paints that are recommended. Then we've got the front axle, which you build up along with the prop shaft, and then you are into building up your wheels and the chassis underneath. Your bogies for the half track and the drive wheels go in, popping your axle front chassis underneath. And then we're building up the sides, the walls of the actual armoured fighting vehicle. It's armour plated sides, its bonnet, and its front. It's quite an involved process actually. It's quite nice. There's plenty of parts to go at, so they're all just being moulded in one piece. Then you're going to build your anti-aircraft cannons. Here they are. So those guns go in, and they will, if you do it right, I'm not sure if I did, you should be able to pivot it both ways, up and down, as well as turning left to right. And then finally you bring it all together. You put your platform with the guns on in, the seats go in, and the driver's area, steering wheel's in there, jerry cans, stowage boxes at the back, jerry cans on the side, and then finally you build your railway tracks and you place it on the diorama like so. Okay, now then, I'm going to move Calamity Jane out of the way for a second, and let's have a look. Here we've got our, if I'm honest, these are not terribly impressive. These are the Rubberband tracks, and are probably the worst ones that Matchbox have ever produced that I've seen so far. I've got a recollection there's another one that's very bad, but they're fairly poor, so nothing to get excited about, unfortunately. Then we've got the green sprue, on which we've got the embankment for the railway on either side here, which is really nicely done. Again, they do these dioramas so nicely. It's no wonder these kits were very popular. And then you've got here the sides of the actual vehicle, armour plated bodywork all the way down the side. So it's essentially an armour plated truck, really. You've got all sorts of things like your winders. You've got your magazines here for the ammunition boxes, magazines there, and we also have the actual chassis of the gun turret itself here, both sides of it. You've got the back wall, including the mud guards. Then you've got one of your road wheels here. What else we got? The chassis is very well done, I have to say. It looks very animated, this chassis. So you've got your prop shaft, and you've got your gearbox here. There's a transverse system. It's got the gearbox is at the back. It's like kind of like a lorry, really. There's your front, there's your back, and then you've got mud guards here, bonnet, axles here. And then you've got your doors, basically, armour plated doors with a little window in them, and that's kind of it for that. It's interesting they call them B and C sprue. I don't know what A is supposed to be. There's no A. That's a bit curious, isn't it? B and C, how bizarre. But anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. Now then, this is the big brown sprue, and here we've got the railway track, complete with the broken rail here. Boing, hit by a bomb clearly, or a shell, and has blown the railway kind of to bits, really. No more trains today. The wrong sort of shells, I think we call that. Right, we've got the bogie wheels here for the half track, and we've got the winder for the winch. We've got your petrol cans, and then we've got your guns here. Whoops, seem to be showing the wrong end. There we go. We've got the guns here, anti-aircraft guns, and then you have, switching back to this side, you've got your floor here. This is this base mount for the actual turret to spin around on, and then you've got your road wheels, tyres here, wheels here, and your little drive wheels for your half track here. And then not forgetting, sort of last but not least, you've got your anti-aircraft gunner sitting behind his guns in position there. It's a really nice kit. This is very similar to what I said, I think, and what I felt about with the Humber armoured car. It's a very nicely animated kit. You know, it comes with such a pleasant diorama. You know, you can't go too wrong with it really. Brings it to life, makes it seem like it's a proper battlefield scenario, makes it feel a bit real, really. And you see there's a bit of a puddle of dirty water in the shell hole, and it looks great. And that's really a nice one to build. I think that's of these Matchbox armour kits. I think this has got to be the one that this with the Humber, kind of in this pocket money range. You know, I mean, this was about 35–40p when it came on the market for the first time. What is there not to like there? You know, it's an absolute corker. You just can't go wrong with it, to be honest. So there we have it. It's the M16 Half Track, anti-aircraft guns, 50 cals on it. Beautiful model. Hope you enjoyed the review. That's a sort of 9 out of 10 for me. Just pity about those rather naff tracks. Bit rubbish, but apart from that, fantastic. Hope you enjoyed the review. Thanks for joining me. If you did enjoy it, please give us a like, share the video with friends, and subscribe if you haven't done already to the channel, remembering to ding the notification bell, because if you do that then you'll get notification of the next one that comes up, and maybe bring you some more childhood memories of model making when life was easier and more carefree and things were simple. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me, and in the meantime, I'm sure there'll be some more model reviews coming up again soon, but in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot for joining me, and bye for now.